What's going on, y'all? We got another cameras over here. Forgot another episode from Thinking Football. Well, not episode, but another video. How do the Steelers keep getting away with this? I'm assuming this is about Mr. Pickens from Georgia. George Pickens himself, really good receiver. Uh, I'm assuming what he says. How do the Steelers keep getting away with this? Is how do the Steelers consistently keep drafting talent at receiver? Because since I say honestly, the last 10 years, because the Steelers have consistently had Pro Bowl type receivers, even though, last year, well, no, they had Deontay Johnson, right? I think he made the Pro Bowl, but consistently, bro. So I think from the not say early 2000s, but from the 2000s to the 2010s, throughout the whole, like for a good decade. So, as they continue to do so, I don't see it ending here because they still have what's our guy name? 6'5" receiver. I can't think of his name at the moment. Y'all drop it in the comment section to me. It'll come to drop it in the comment section for me. It'll come to me later in the video, I'm sure. I just can't think of his name right now. You got Deontay, and then you have George and James Washington. He's pretty nice. He's a good depth piece. I feel like he could be a solid number 2 somewhere. Just we just got to see it. Got to see it actually happen. But they've consistently, Mike Wallace, Hines Ward, Antoine Randall, Antonio Brown, Santonio Holmes, what's his name? It was like a 6'4" guy. I can't think of his name. He was nice. Emmanuel Sanders, but what's his name? Was it Marcus something? I don't know. But it's consistent talent. Yeah, he was 6'4". I think he got into some trouble. He was real nice. I think we're number 10.
It seems like every year the Steelers manage to bag themselves a potential big play weapon. This time, a lanky ex-receiver with an elite catch radius to match. George Pickens has
I don't
the
even feel like
burst
he's
to
just
lead
lanky
you
like
off
that. I
the
feel like he's
line
solid.
and the ball skills to snatch it away from you. After posting stellar freshman and sophomore seasons as UGA's #1 option, scouts were projecting Pickens as a potential first-rounder, only for him to tear his ACL in spring practice.
That was a good move.
George recovered remarkably fast, allowing him to get back to help onto the field for the final 4 games of the Bulldogs' title run. But outside a couple big catches, his play looked limited in the quick return. Partner that with some character questions posed by scouts, and you can see why he slipped into the second round. But let's look at the upside and why Pittsburgh.
Very good route. He kind of, not really, but like, kind of reminds me of Chris Olave. Like I just watched the video on him, and I see like similarities. Chris is a lot faster, and I think George is a lot more aggressive. But I feel like they have somewhat similar styles, like somewhat similar attributes.
See why he slipped into the second round. But let's look at the upside and why Pittsburgh might have just got
that was a good play call as well.
Another steal.
Big
At
body,
6'3",
big threat.
200.
Oh, he's 6'3"?
Pickens has the size and body control to snatch almost anything that comes his way.
Okay.
And when you combine that with his burst,
maybe
you got yourself a big play machine.
Maybe I'm tripping. I did not know he was 6'3". I forgot. I thought he was like 6'1".
Baylor has everybody down to shut off the run. But this leaves way too much space for the backside option fade. And the corner is burnt toast off the snap. Pickens takes just 5 yards to get even with his corner. And Fromm drops a nice one in the bucket, allowing Pickens to continue that good body control and get inside the pylon for 6. Nice alignment and play design here gets him a one-on-one matchup, and he's able to produce a field flipper on Georgia's 3rd drive, setting them up for a field goal. A split release again gets him inside leverage, and watch how he pushes his stem into the corner, helping increase the separation when he makes his skinny post cut.
He did an amazing job selling that route.
One up. And watch the fantastic extension to pull this one in.
That was an amazing job selling that route.
Off the ground and rolling through to make sure he keeps it in his grasp. Back to the Baylor game, and it's a classic backyard staple of any young football fan, the flea flicker. Great acting job here by Pickens to bluff the down block on the linebacker before absolutely burning
tempo, turn it up. Oh my gosh.
Jake Fromm noodle arms this one up, and Pickens is forced to slow down and come back for it. Or honestly, this would have been an easy score.
Crazy because I was thinking about that last throw. It would have been so good if he threw it in stride. I was thinking that, but I didn't say it. But he said it now, and it was another throw that was underthrown.
And here against Cincinnati, they're going to bluff the play coverage, sending his corner on the blitz and rotating the safety over the top of him. but Pickens doesn't care which cat is covering him, turning his new assignment inside out with a filthy double move. Once again, watch the extension to make sure he gets this. The
Wow.
ball's several
Yeah,
feet
good
out in
speed.
front, and George makes
Does he have a
sure
history
to
of
lay
running a
out to
40 time,
guarantee
like
the
in,
catch.
what, like high school or something?
Even if you try to double him like Alabama tried to do here, he's just going to rise up over you and snatch the ball in double coverage too. His long arms and frame make extending for difficult balls look absolutely routine, able to pull in passes other receivers would just let fly by. And it doesn't
Great
just have to
adjustment.
be
Great
vertical
adjustment.
either. Here against Cincy, he's going to come open on the post in between the zone levels, but his QB gets hit on the release, causing the ball to die and forcing an adjustment by Pickens. And once again, it just looks routine, scooping up the low throw to move the chains on fourth down. That long frame doesn't just allow him to get straight balls, but acts as a buffer, keeping away DBs who want to try to play through him. Watch how he uses his body here to stack and shield the DB away from the slant ball, allowing him to make the grab despite the smothering coverage.
That was a good throw too. Good placement,
And
I
this
say.
combination just makes him so deadly in the end zone. No matter the coverage, you can either throw it up to him or allow him to just shield out his man and make the grab. If you play for UGA, it's always going to be a run-first mentality. Fortunately for the Bulldogs, it seemed like
that's gonna be great for Najee. That's gonna be great for him.
The physicality he shows in contesting catches,
Chase Claypool. That's what I was thinking about.
The run game, where Pickens wants to show the opposition just who's really in control. Here against Alabama, the run's going away from him, but he's still gonna make his man pay for staying flat-footed. Watch him fire off the line and immediately intrude his man's personal space, firing a punch straight through his man's chest plate and popping him back 4 yards. He doesn't just pop him, he keeps talking. And again, the run isn't even coming his way, with the Dogs running a quick pitch right. But Pickens still wants a piece of his man, firing out of the blocks and putting his man right onto his ass.
Dang.
Someone must have been talking shit because Pickens decided to turn into a bully on this game, forcing another Michigan DB into submission late in the game with another push of doom. I mean, the game was already over, George. Damn. While not necessarily the most polished of route runners in college, there's enough on display to leave you excited, even if the tree was honestly incredibly limited. He doesn't get the ball here against Baylor, but he does a nice job to sell the slant on the sluggo before actually breaking it off into a hook out. Fromm gets target lock on his tight end and never looks backside. Or how about this route against Bama in his sophomore season? He sells the outside release hard, forcing the corner to get tangled up when he cuts back inside. And then, as soon as he sees his back plate, immediately hitches up on the curl, creating 5 yards of separation and an easy pitch and catch. And here's another nice route from this game. He attacks right at his man off the snap, then pushes north while creating contact to see that he's going over the top, before sharp cutting 90, finding the gap on the sideline to bring this one in. With the praise dished out, there's still some caveats that we've got to cover when it comes to George Pickens. Firstly, let's go back to the route running.
I know I'm not talking too much. I'm really spectating at this point. I mean, I don't really got too much to say. To make some notes, I guess to throw in some words, it's gonna be a very diverse offense because they have a nice receiving core. Sad to see Juju go, but I think this is a good replacement, very good replacement. I think we will see who is the number one guy. I mean, even with Deontay there, I feel like it's still not established. Like, who's the go-to receiver? You know, everybody eats. You know, and they still got Pat Fryermuth. It's a nice receiving core, but I think we can see that this year. I like what he brings to the table in that receiving core, and then you know, we'll see Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, see how it all plays out. But Pittsburgh going in a good direction. It's young, but it's a good direction, definitely.
The route tree that he ran at Georgia was so limited, it's impossible to call him a good route runner as of right now. The Dogs used him as their main deep threat, and this meant a lot of deep fades and posts with only really hitches and slants to mix it up.
I'm not gonna lie, but some of the routes that they show, he does. Yeah, but I say
vastly behind
he looks
when
like
it comes to running an NFL level route tree. His
Ooh,
long frame
sheesh.
makes it
He look like
easier
he's
for
capable.
corners to get into him, and they can cause him some problems if they can disrupt his route early. He's shown great fight, but he'll need to continue to improve in this area to keep away those feisty NFL DBs. Another concern is the significant injury he suffered in the spring of 2021. That ACL tear took out a large portion of his junior season, and while it's commendable just how quickly he got back on the field, his 2021 tape displayed someone trying really hard to get back to their best, rather than an out-and-out dynamic threat. And there's one last elephant in the room when discussing Pickens, and that's his personality. Now, here at Thinking Football, we only evaluate tape, but it would be ignorant for us to completely ignore the noise surrounding him. To say he rubbed scouts the wrong way during the draft process would be an understatement. With multiple
What round did they
of
pick him up in
lacking
again?
maturity, and that he just can't seem to get out of his own way. Now, these reports are also backed up by earlier recorded instances at Georgia. He was suspended for the first half of the game against Tech his freshman season for violating team rules, and then, when allowed into the game, got himself another half-game suspension from his head coach for throwing a punch during the game.
Wow.
Luckily, we can't think of many better places when it comes to dealing with difficult wide receivers. Now, George Pickens
It's a
has
good fit,
all
good
the
coach.
talent needed to be a number one wide receiver in
Good
the
coach
NFL.
fit.
It just
for him.
comes down to personal desire and to see if he really wants it. Can he maintain the discipline level necessary it took to get back from an injury and translate that into developing his route tree? Or is his immaturity going to keep him buried at the bottom of the depth chart? The human element is one reason that the draft is such a crapshoot, y'all. But we've seen this work out way too many times for the Steelers. And honestly, we're not betting against them. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a
I'm looking forward to it. Ooh, Jameson Williams. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, I'm watching this one next. Guys, they doing a lot of good videos, man. A lot of good videos. All right, well, we'll end it there. Shout out to Thinking Football, man. I really like his channel. Y'all hit the link in the description for me. Hit the like button for me. Also, subscribe. Stay tuned. Stay blessed.